Good evening, friends, and welcome to my next market review today. Well, a good green day for the market with the Nifty up about 0.7%, mid cap about 0.5%, small cap the top performer at 1.25%, and micro cap also doing well at 0.8%. Right? So clearly for you, it's a day where every index did positive. But what was the main driver of today's positive were two, three things. The first was an IT index, massive performance of 4.64% up today. The second aspect which was there was that there was a heavy advanced decline ratio shift. So today 1900 stocks were up and about 1000 stocks were down. So clearly then from a perspective of the FIIs, they reduced their selling. They sold, I think, about 300 crores only today. So a dramatic drop in the FIIs selling. And DIIs, as we have been speaking about over the past few days, they also reduced their buying to 1,800 crores. So clearly the outperforms the small and micro cap, the advanced decline ratio tells you that our favorite NIDI, which is non-institutional domestic investors, held up the market today along with IT. The news which I'll come to IT in a little bit, but the news overall for the market which was positive was the Brent crude dropping below $71 today. So it was at 70.8. So again, that's great fillip to the market. Second issue which helped was, I think, the monsoon. There's been good progress on the monsoon, and yesterday the monsoon update came. Every Wednesday IMD releases the update, and they said the monsoon has made good progress, almost covering entire Himachal. It's stated to go into UP and into central India over the next 4-5 days. In fact, we are speaking about a red alert and heavy zone. So hopefully it falls in the crop area where the sowing can help, but that was again a positive today. The other positive boost which came to the market today was the auto sales released yesterday, where you saw a premiumization happening both in the cars where SUV sales were very high, whether it's for Maruti or for Tata Motors or for Mahindra and Mahindra. At the same time, in the two-wheeler also, the electric vehicle segment saw a huge boost with TVS Motors leading the way there. Not all companies had a great month. Hero Motors did not. And the tractors in this also posted a fairly decent number. So that was a good number there to boost for. So these factors plus the fact that yesterday I mentioned that Mr. Walsh said that he sees inflation easing, but he didn't commit to a rate cut. But employment data came a bit weak and the GDP also slowed down. So slight probability of a Fed rate cut, probability going up. So in all this, the markets were obviously well supported today and rose across the board. But IT was the main thing because if you see, I tried to do a rough back of the envelope calculation today, right? And if you look at the facts that IT is about 13 to 14% of the large cap index, about 6 to 7% of the mid cap index, and there's also a significant share of the micro cap index also, right? So when I take away this performance, you'll be a bit surprised to note that the Nifty, which was up 71 basis points today, if you take away the IT shares outperformance, it will be flat, no increase. The mid-cap index, which was 0.5% up today, if you take away the IT impact, it will be negative today. Small cap would also from 1.2%, its positive will come down to 75-80 basis points, and micro cap also from 80 basis points may come down to 50 or 60 basis points. So clearly, without IT today, the market was not that great. Yes, still small cap and micro cap did well, but large caps and mid caps were only supported by the IT. And the other factor behind the IT move, what was it? Well, today was a combination of factors. The first is value buying, because IT has been down 6.5% over the last week. In fact, after today's Jones, 1 week IT is still negative 1.5%. Okay, that is a sharp drop. So clearly entering into a value zone where a lot of people feel that now it can't go any further down kind of thinking. Second is there's a big IT analyst in the US called Guggenheim, what they came out of the report is that they feel that US-based IT companies are all oversold because the models are taking as if IT business is going to disappear in like 3, 4, or 5 years. And they said clearly that's not the case. So US software companies like Salesforce and everything else, they put out a report saying, yes, AI is a threat, but it's overestimated. And we feel that all these companies and put out strong buy. So some companies about 40% higher target price they're given in the IT software. 3, 4 companies, they've ranged from 25 to 40%. They hiked the expected price for those, right? So this obviously had a spillover in terms of the Indian IT companies. This report there that Guggenheim feels that is oversold helped it. Third is the anti-AI force. So today also the Korean index, which has been suffering a lot, was down almost 6, 7 or 8% today, right? And I think even the Nikkei was down today. Taiwan held up somewhat today. So a combination of these factors gave a boost to IT, right? And that's the reason that we saw this huge bounce up. Now, whether that's a dead cat bounce or it's a sustainable bounce till the valuations again creep up, only time will tell, right? So we covered the auto and we covered the IT. So what are the other sectors which did well today? Well, like I said, because I think the NIDI played a great role. The NIDI, again, non-institutional domestic investors. You saw all the risk on assets, and for the last 3, 4 days, continuously, realty has been going up day after day. Today was another day. It was up 1.5%. Auto, on the back of good numbers, was up 1.2%. Consumer durables were also up 1.4. Remember that they were very flat yesterday, right? And because of the monsoon outlook, I think FMCG was slightly positive at 0.5%. Defense was also at half. A lot of sectors were there in the 0.5% range, right? But what was the issue which was not doing well today? Well, today's down was clearly only, I think, the energy, because obviously of the oil prices coming down, the energy companies were a little bit impacted. And as far as the refiners are concerned, I think the energy minister spoke today saying that oil prices really have been increased for the public over the last so many years. And then he mentioned that the refining companies would take the hit, which is about 2.1 lakh crore will be the under absorption that the refining companies have to bear it. So government is passing the fiscal deficit issue burden onto the refining companies. So clearly that's not very good from a stock market perspective, right? So that's what the situation was in terms of the thing. There was profit booking also, I think, in the banking sector today. So PSU banks were down about 0.42% today. The private banks were also kind of flattish. So clearly the other factor which comes through. So one, to summarize the day today, IT held with the market. Take away the IT, it was clearly a case of the smaller caps doing better than the larger caps. And that is the non-institutional participants who have held it up, because DIIs reduced their buying as the FIs reduced their selling, right? So that sums up the day for today. And we'll look forward to tomorrow to see whether this rally sustains for another day in IT, and nothing special. We will have to wait for the earnings season to start around the 10th of July. But then the US software companies, somebody also may report some results. So markets will be eagerly looking forward to that. But overall, I think it's a day to be happy about, right? So catch up with you. Remember that I'll be writing a detailed write-up on the day's thing. You can see it in my YouTube channel on my post or my Facebook post. And I'll try and circulate it that also. But that will be a late night, early morning kind of a situation, depending on when I get the complete F&O and other data. So do wait for the write-up to read that also, right? Thank you and look forward to you tomorrow.